What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Out himself. Got a midday live feed. What I want to have with you guys today, I'm going over when is the time to leave your job. When is a good time to leave your job? And I'm going to let you know personally when I knew it was time for me to leave my job. A lot of times people put out videos to tell you how to start your business and how to keep your business going and things like that. But vast majority of them, I'll say the vast majority, we know it's just by the numbers statistically, most people don't actually have their own business. Uh, the vast majority probably not went out and become 100% self-employed. They've left their job, go out there on face, and go into the world of entrepreneurship where you're being self-employed. So I want to have this discussion this afternoon to let you guys know, my journey and what I did to become and leaving my job, become self-employed. I also got guys, y'all got to bear with me. This is my very first time with the call in. So if you see Stream Live, right now, Stream Live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. But if you're looking on the Facebook, YouTube, I think LinkedIn, and Twitter, you'll see the call in number. The call in number is 678-961-3176. Again, it's 678-961-3176. We're gonna have a discussion. I haven't opened it up for the calls right now, so again, let's have a discussion. If you guys got any comments and everything, feel free to it. But definitely, just give me a call if you guys want to have a discussion about it. Right now, this is what we're talking about with regard to when is it time to leave your job, and let you know when it was. How my thought process was when I knew it was time for me to leave my job, and how I went about doing it with my journey, and also give you guys some tips in regards to if you want to go out there and start your own, you want to leave your job, go through that process of doing it. Uh, I'll be able to also, give you some tips in regards to that. Exactly, the actual steps that I took with going through it. Right, right now, again, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I know I'm forgetting something, but the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have over 400 videos on the YouTube channel. I'm up here at my crib in the sunroom and everything. So y'all see, we got some of the daylight vibes going on. But just to kind of bring you up, just let you guys know exactly how I went in my process. I was in corporate America for vast over 20 years, but I was with my last company. I was with them 15 years, but I also had my businesses going on in conjunction with having my job, like most people that actually, have started a business up. They have a business, they, have a job, they have a business on the side, in different levels they may go through with it. You may just be doing a little side work in addition to having your job, or you may have took it a little further. You may have got some rental properties, you may have got, a lease in your name. That's what we had with the tax business. I had leases in my name, and also even with a salon. So I stepped out a little further, but at the end of the day, it push can't shove. I still had a decent job to pay me a great salary, just in case things fell through. But the thing that was going on with me personally, I was working in corporate America. I had kind of hit that proverbial glass ceiling. Pretty much I couldn't go any further. I probably was naive in regards to just the normal thought process. Uh, I go through it. I got a quick question. I become CFO. I give you this, the steps in regards to that. 1 second, DJ. The question is, are you aware of the steps to become a CFO? I am. Let me go through this discussion. I promise you I'll open the floor up and answer all your questions that's outside of what was the discussion, but I got you covered on that. Um, with my journey with doing it, I was going through, I hit the glass ceiling, promotions weren't offered. In actuality, my mentor, that was actually the person that was above me for 15 years, he even stated, he was like, hey, D, man, I'm pretty sure when I leave, man, they're gonna probably get somebody from outside to, replace me. I doubt they'll just promote you. Uh, when you hear it, it really didn't sting me because at the end of the day, he still were there, so it didn't make a difference. And the job I had, I was accountant for a non-profit corporation, made great money. The thing of it was with that was it was a job that gave me a lot of freedom to be able to run my business on the side. So again, money was cool, the autonomy was cool, everything was great. The problem came up is during that whole 15 years, you're talking about you start at one spot and you get your, you get all these different credentials, you get all these additional, you get your master's degree and things like that. So you feel like it's a no-brainer once time comes for you to start sending and doing some different stuff, and it wasn't happening. Now the money was increasing, but the actual opportunities and stuff weren't for me. Let me say that. And it got to a point. To be honest with you, hell, I love going to the job every day because again, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Chill downtown Atlanta, nice office, nice building, nice ladies walking around. So I ain't have any complaints. The thing again, it starts kind of chipping at you because you feel like okay, you should be advancing in certain things with doing it. Because I had the money coming in, it wasn't bothering. But the issue comes when I couldn't, and the opportunity wasn't available to me. That's when it started not getting fun. And I know everybody may have different things. They may just say, "Hey, listen, I don't like my job. I don't like my situation, or I hate my job, or I feel like I should be doing something else. I have a different passion." Whatever the reason is, we know we come to that fork in the road. We know when we get there, and we're like, "Hey, this is not. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with doing this and stuff." Um, and we want to, just start looking at other things. Maybe look at, hey, let me do a career change. Let me go to another company. But, in a sense, what we're talking about today, when it's time to leave your job, because we're talking about basic entrepreneurship when you want to go start your own business. You guys know that I just push people to being happy. I don't necessarily get too tough into if you don't, you need entrepreneurship is the way to go. That's the best way to be and everything. I don't push that. I push pretty much you put yourself in the best situation. It's going to make you happy. You excited about getting out of bed in the morning. That be if you're going to work. That be if you got your own business, whatever it is and everything. But I always try to have a discussion in regards to these are the pros and cons about going either way, right? And so we talking about, when I knew it was time to leave my job, hell, I hit that glass ceiling. The only other problem was, I can be honest about this, I was making, hell, between the tax business that I had on the side, the salon, we weren't really doing too tough on the YouTube at a janitorial company. And what the hell else I had that time? Just different consulting work I was doing outside of it. It was decent money, but it wasn't anything. I think I'll probably make about, maybe 12 grand a year with the consulting, just doing outside of that, and even with the speaking gigs and stuff like that, it wasn't nothing big. But the tag business, hell, I was 15 years in the game. We were good. It was good. I was making, I was extremely comfortable with the tax business. Salon was standing alone. 17 years had the salon and everything. So income and money was not an issue. I was just scared. I can be very honest about this. I was very, very scared. I was scared about stepping out there and being on my own. And I can be honest about that because I had at the time I was married. Now I didn't know. Now because I was, I was on shaky ground and how things were going to go in that perspective. And that's part of being an entrepreneur. You have the whole plan that you're going to do everything with your business, but you also have stuff called reality in life where you don't necessarily know what kind of path you're going to go into on the person's side, because people, they go through divorces, children get sick, family issues, all kind of stuff like that can affect your path career-wise or business-wise. But with me in particular, I had hit that fork in the road. My growth was just going to be limited from where I was with my job and everything like that. And shit, I was cool with the business. I just had to sit there and say to myself, my personal feelings about being afraid about stepping out there weren't as big as my fear of living regrets. I'm pretty sure everybody knows tons of people that have died and just when they're near the end they say, I wish I had, I wish I should, I wish I could have, and everything. And I ain't want to be one of those people. That's not to ridicule nobody, but it's a lot of folks haven't taken chances on themselves because of the being hesitant about how things are gonna go. And like I said, I was in that little pot where I'm like, okay, again, I already had the businesses going. I was making, great money with doing it. But again, money in the bank, money coming in. I just was afraid. Looking back at it, I can be honest about it. But when you start looking at, okay, when it's time to leave, the things that you're doing outside, and if you have aspirations of actually doing your own thing, the things doing your own thing and leaving your job, one of the key things is that particular thing that you're doing on the side or in addition to your actual job or income is going to overtake it. That means you can't comfortably do your job because the demands and the money is pulling you away from your job, right? Now, don't get it twisted, don't get it confused. When I say this, I'm not talking about you have demands and phone calls coming from your side business or pulling you from your job and you ain't making no damn money. I'm talking about you're legitimately making money with doing this. Just give me 1 second. One of my children is calling me. I'm sorry. Let me get everything back on the live. But make sure Junior get the message, call me back. But that's one of the things when you get in a situation where look, this money and the business and everything is going in a great direction. You like, hey man, listen, you know, we're booming over here. We're booming over here. I like my job. I like my situation, but man, I can go to a whole nother stratosphere. And we start looking at those particular things like, hey man, you know, I'm okay with this. Now, again, we have the things that can actually affect that and having some of the negative impact in it. Because again, you know, I can speak for myself, you know, having divorce, health issues, things like that. You got to actually be able to plan and be ready for it. But I just know me personally, I was afraid, but I, I it went from I liked my job till I hated it and I was miserable there. Kind of how it was right for the end of my marriage. But you hate it so much, you know you got to get the hell out of there. And the fear that you have about leaving and getting out of there is so minute in regards to yes, your aspirations or your fear of not going out there and chasing your dreams. But again, the demand part of it, when you sitting there doing these particular things, it's going to pull you away from it. It's going to pull you away from your job. Be like, look, man, then it seems like that side thing, your job, you know? So two things going to hit you again. You're going to be in a position where you say, oh, look, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And there's a lot of people living, you know, not happy. And it makes life so rough. You see somebody early in the morning, what's going on? Shit, back here, got to do another week. Got to do it. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? And I see in my just say mid late 20s, you see some of the old heads. I was working in a warehouse when I first got to the Army while I was going to undergrad at Georgia State. And I see some of the old heads and I coming in to work. Great guys, great gentlemen, you know, love them brothers to death because they were very instrumental in being mentors to me when I was a young man. But hell, man, it just seemed like they were just penciled in life. Like they were just penciled in, like, got to do this, got to do that. And it was no plan for retirement, just Social Security or just work till you damn die. And like that's been the case with a lot of my family members. That's not knocking nobody. But at the end of the day, we're in a situation now in 2022. You don't have to do that. You can put a plan in place. It may be an uncomfortable plan. It may be some things you got to just kind of grind at for a little bit, but you don't have to do that. And when I was speaking about myself, when I knew it was time to leave, I had put myself in a position that I was having so much success outside of my job. Shit, it was time to just go on out there and do it. You know, coincidentally, when I did it, it was the first couple of weeks. I think I went to a rainbow in emotion. Did I do the right thing? Move too fast? I should have been did this stuff. All kind of stuff go through your mind with that. And it was funny because the reason I left my job because hitting those glass ceiling. Hell, I got 3 director positions. High level executive. I got 1 CFO offer and 2 finance director offers within a 2-week span after I left my job. You know, just got some phone calls from some headhunters and stuff in regards to that. Now, just I ain't there to be, you know, just we're doing it, but that's how life works with you. Sometimes when opportunities come, you may be to move to something else, or you know, the key thing, just try to be prepared. And when I did it, man, I can be honest with you, man. I've been so happy. Now, I will say this again. With going down this road, that's what we're talking. I think on the live feed last night, we're being mentally prepared to be an entrepreneur, guys. Understand that, you know, entrepreneurship is not you're working with for freedom, not necessarily, you know, just, you know, things will be a whole lot easier because I tell everybody every day, I will put 20 hours a day, so I don't have to work 40 hours a week. But it's not work to me because I'm doing what I want. You know, I'm sitting here talking to you beautiful people, you know, in the middle of the day in the sunroom and stuff. I love doing this. every path that you want to go down the road of entrepreneurship is not necessarily going to be, squeaky clean and easy with doing it. So you want to make sure that, hey, wherever, when you choose to make that move to go out there and do it, you do a good job of proper planning. But again, typically what will happen to you when it's time for you to make that move, you will be in a position where the actual side business that you're doing or something will be kind of overwhelmed or taken over. And you have to make a tough decision. Am I going to continue to try to work my job and fix this where I here, or just say, listen, the job thing is cool. I can always come back and get another job, and let me just try to do that, and get at a try. Or just like, look, I'm just gonna let it side business go because it's cool with doing that, but I got security help. I can understand both perspectives. You've been at your job. I mean, everybody looks at me, I was crazy. You've been there 15 years. Why are you gonna leave there and stuff? That didn't make any sense. Now within a situation like the military, like I retired 20 years, so I said to work a while, but I did have some stability there. I had great. Like I said, it was a cool job. It was a cool job with doing it, but I wasn't happy. And a lot of times people would ask, especially younger folks, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And it just seems so cliche because I feel like even the people that's asking, and the vast majority of people out here are not doing what they want to do. They're doing what they have to do. And coincidentally, when you're doing what you have to do, you may fall into a situation where, it turns out great. And then you love your job. You love going in there and everything. But a lot of times you're not in a situation where you actually, it starts off as something, this is what I want to do. I've been pushing for it and stuff. It happens, but most of the time it just kind of molds into that. But again, the vast majority of people are doing what they have to do in life, not necessarily what they want to. So when you're actually going into that path of, hey, I want to get this a try, I want to bank on me, I want to do these particular things, it's nothing uncommon for you to be afraid. It's nothing uncommon for you to be frightened about the situation. But if you really want to actually make sure you don't live a life full of regrets or really wishing you had to try to do something, bank on yourself for a second. Now, I want to give you guys some tips in regard to all that when you start looking at how do you prepare yourself when you say, listen, um, I'm thinking about leaving my job or I'm thinking about going out on my own. What do I need to be looking for? And this is one of what I want to give you guys, some advice about. When we start looking at, hey, stepping out there and doing your own thing, the first thing I always tell people to kind of, set that initial budget for yourself as far as with your home. And what I mean by that is, you pretty much your basic living expenses. That'd be your mortgage, rent, utilities, whatever you have to come to the table. If you got a significant other, they may, you guys may be in a situation where they can pick up the slack for you, or you may just be like, look, man, shit is still gonna be the same. If you can't cover what you normally been covered to do it, you might well go and stay at your job. I get it. So with that said, we know what numbers we need to make, right? So we say that pretty much our output at a normal time. And I will say this again because I share this about myself. When I knew I was going to leave my job, I was not ready financially. I took almost a year and a half, almost 2 years to get my finances in order. Not that I was just in so much debt, but just trimming the fat, revisiting vendors, negotiating new terms on credit cards, paying down debt, different things to change the actual dollar amount that I was putting out each month for my living expenses, right? You had the fixed amounts, which was the mortgage and things like that. But just some of your, just say your different utilities, credit cards, gym membership, things like that, just kind of reduce everything to a certain point. Then here's the deal. So if you say that between mortgage, utilities, groceries, regular life stuff, it costs you $2,000 a month, right? So if it costs you $2,000 a month, we know that's going to be 24,000 a year, right? 2 times 12, right? Easy math. Can you put yourself in a position where you can replace or create 24,000? That's the only number you need to be concerned with. That's the only number you need to be concerned with, right? We want to make sure we can get to 24,000 because that's our break-even point, right? So at the end of the day, we have to make sure whatever output we're looking at for our jobs, when we say, okay, listen, I want to leave this, I want to go out and make the decision, everything falling in line, I'm busy. The first number, because again, you know me, I don't, being an accountant and being an entrepreneur, I've taken risks, taken chances, I get that part. But math still the math, the numbers still the numbers, right? I don't go out and move on emotions and make decisions or move just because how I feel. So when we start want to go into the math where we say the numbers, we're gonna sit and say that listen, we want to make sure we can cover our basic living expenses, right? That's our break even number. So we saying between our mortgage, our utilities, grocery, things like that, 2,000. Can I make? Can I be in a position where I can cover the $2,000? Right? That's our number. Anything above that, great. Anything below that, we got damn problems. Right? Stay where the hell you at until you're in a position to do that. I'm not a big proponent of stepping out there on faith, and you're not covering yourself as far as living. You don't want to put yourself in a position. I've heard all the great stories. People have stepped out there. They didn't have anything to do, and and they prayed on it. The next thing you know, they were able to make so much money. For every one of those, I'm telling you, it's 10 times as many people that stepped out there and they asked in the damn homeless shelter, divorce, family broke up, all kind of stuff because proper planning wasn't taken. Again, get those numbers together. This is the bare minimum I need to make a month, right? So we got that $2,000. At $2,000 is 24,000. At the end of the day, we want to make sure, regardless, that we're able to make that $24,000. We can make that $24,000. We can grow. We can go from there. Okay. Once we got those numbers set up, and we said that and put ourselves in the position to be able to cover that, now we can make proper moves, guys. And that is typically the basis that you need to have to be able to sit there and make that decision if you're going to go and leave and go out on your own with doing anything. Okay. So I just want to just share that quick story with you guys, what I knew when it was time for me, because it was a very, very stressful time. Like I said, I had other stuff personally going on with me during that period, but I was just so damn unhappy. I was in a chill situation. But when you used to get to them points where you can't and you're limited with what you're doing, you start revisiting different things like, hey, man, I want to be happy. I want to be me. And a lot of times people don't necessarily get to do that, live that out in life because of, afraid to change, scared, opportunities and things like that. Trust me, I dig it. I get it. I'm not here to be the spokesman for entrepreneurship and tell people what they need to do with everything like that. But I will be honest with people about trying to do certain things and getting certain things opportunity with doing it, right? So I want to share that with you guys. With that being said, and with that said, guys, I want to open up the floor. I'm doing a quick live feed. I got a meeting in about an hour. Let me get to this question that I had earlier. DJ, are you aware of how to become a CFO? CFO, guys, if you don't know, is the chief financial officer, or it's a different executive in a corporate structure. And the CFO typically is the person, right? We have a CEO, and that is the person that strategizes and strategizes and leads the company. And your COO, chief operating officer, that's the person that runs operations. And CFO, person usually in charge of financials. The financial department of a corporation, usually from a strategic level, that's being the planning and things like that. In regards to becoming a CFO, it depends really, number one, on the actual companies. What I would say, DJ, work backwards from it. You can look at different companies will want to may or may have different credentials that they want from CFO. Typically, many CFOs are CPAs, or they're an MBA. They have an MBA in finance, accounting, management, some kind of strategic level with doing it. You have some people that went through the ranks and they've been awarded CFOs and don't have a graduate degree, or they're not a CPA. That does happen. Typically, mainly happens in smaller companies. But you may corporations, most of them have like minimum requirements. Even some governments, I'm talking about like city or county level, they probably want you to have at least a CPA, or probably at minimum an MBA with doing it. But again, it depends on what that particular one is looking for. I would recommend, if you're actually looking to go at that level in finance, I would say try to take some kind of executive level classes or get executive level certifications, and verse yourself with different paths in regards to corporate accounting and things like that. But again, it still will go back to what the actual entity that you're looking to get employed with, what they require. Smaller companies, again, they don't require as much. But the key thing you want to make sure is that you have some kind of experience. Remember, we start talking executive CEO, COO, CFOs. They're more on a strategic level. So you all, keeping in mind kind of like what your micro and macroeconomics. You're looking at everything from a different vantage point when you start talking about the CFO level. So I would kind of look at what industry you're looking to get at. You're looking at more than one different industries in regards to becoming a CFO. Look at some of the companies that are in there and what they're requiring or what their CFOs. You can just check that out on LinkedIn. The credentials that they have, and they give you kind of like a better starting point with doing that. Guys, again, I do have to call in, going in if anybody want to give a call, 678-961-3176. You're welcome to give us a call. I have a rendezvous I got to take care of in a little bit. You guys know I'm a proud member of 100 Black Men South Metro. If you guys are on the south side of Atlanta, this weekend we're having our annual Family and Friends Day. It's going to be at the Grand Hall East Lodge on Old National Highway. So you guys are welcome to come out there and say yes of Mr. Short Dollar. We'd love to have you guys out there. We do a lot of great work in the community. So just want to give you guys a heads up on that. Is there anybody else got any comments, questions, or anything like this before I get ready to wrap it up? Just want to share that short story with you guys in regards to when I knew it was time to leave my job, and also give you guys some insight what you need to do in regards to if you're thinking about leaving your job and stepping out there on faith. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment and you rather just, book an appointment, you can go and the links on the YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. You see the link for the booking the consultant appointment, just in case you want to talk to me one-on-one because you may, don't want to talk about it in public. You have probably something a little bit more complicated. You rather talk to, person to person. That's fine. The links to book that is there. Again, the main hub for everything is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. Again, on Mr. Short Dollar, we'll talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We got over 400 videos on the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. We got a grant playlist of over 150 grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. So it's a lot of great information there. So go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and take advantage of all the great information we have there, and also all the great information we have coming down the pipe. Well, I don't see anybody coming in right now. Feel free, hit me up if you guys run across your mind later on. It's easy to get in contact with me, but I appreciate all the love and support you guys are giving me and all the love and support you continue to give us and everything. And I'll probably be back on later today with another live feed, but I just want to chop in today and have a quick discussion with you guys. Take care of yourself, guys. Love you guys. Be safe, and I'll talk with you soon.